This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Monday, August 28th, 2023. I'm Alex Brown. What was once considered medical folklore has been proven. IU School of Medicine psychiatrist Dr. Alexander Niculescu says blood samples from suicide deaths collected at the Marion County Coroner's Office have uncovered a significant increase in the number of people who commit suicide during a full moon.
With the full moon, that light striking at night when things should be dark, that activates vulnerable people and may lead to suicide, activates their biology and makes them active when they shouldn't be.
He says the most practical application of the discovery is that doctors pay even more attention to patients who express suicidal ideation during the week of a full moon. Parkview LaGrange Hospital in Northeast Indiana reopened this morning after an air conditioning outage led staff to close the facility over the weekend. Parkview officials say the hospital's air conditioning unit was completely replaced ahead of the reopening. A 4-year-old business consultancy and marketing firm is relocating its operations to the Martin County town of Shoals. HDMG is investing $150,000 to acquire and renovate a building on the town's main street and plans to add a small number of jobs over the next 2 months. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
For 25 years, we've had the honor of telling the story of Indiana business. More than 1,300 shows, 8,000 interviews. We've traveled from Valparaiso to Versailles, Fort Wayne to Fort Branch, and everywhere in between. And we are just getting started. Our team is passionate about Indiana business because your story is worth telling. Join us every week as we travel the state to bring you Indiana's story. Inside Indiana Business, 25 years and counting.
Forbes has released its annual list of America's best employers by state, and 73 companies are ranked among the best in Indiana. IIB's Kate Sharon has more.
The publication partnered with market research firm Statista to survey 70,000 employees across the country who ranked their employer across several categories, including work environment, gender pay equity, and opportunities for advancement. The list includes companies with more than 500 employees, and the companies don't have to be headquartered in the state for which they're listed. Of the 1,392 companies that were listed nationwide, 269 were ranked in multiple states, including the U.S. Department of Defense and the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, which were each included in 28 states. Munster-based Community Healthcare System tops the Hoosier State, followed by Microsoft, Indy-based Community Health Network, Kentucky-based Norton Healthcare, and Massachusetts-based Raytheon Technologies. The next 5 Indiana-based companies are Indiana University, Parkview Health in Fort Wayne, Ball State University in Muncie, Cook Medical in Bloomington, and Eskenazi Health in Indianapolis. You can connect with the full list at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Kate Sharon, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana is ramping up how it prepares firefighters for the job after launching 4 new training locations in the first of a 4-phase expansion. The hub-and-spoke training model means $7.7 million will be invested into the 4 sites, which will be located in Corydon, Linton, Rensselaer, and Wabash. The state aims to complete and open the training facilities in the first quarter of 2024. The state said the project will place high-quality training structures within 30 miles or 45 minutes of every career and volunteer department. Over a dozen sites already exist. The new sites will be locally owned and maintained, with the state helping when necessary. The newly christened Bicentennial Unity Plaza at Gamebridge Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis is viewed as more than a gathering space. Pacers Sports and Entertainment CEO Rick Fuson says the plaza will be a spark for additional downtown development.
Yeah, I think it's a space that is made for people to come to. We haven't had to close the street. We have parks and all, but they're used for parks, and that's very good. This is an activity spot.
President and COO Mel Raines says the plaza will also add to the game day experience for the Indiana Pacers in Fever, and will also serve as a center court of sorts for February's NBA All-Star Game. Former Major League Baseball player Drew Storen is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.